Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. How are you? If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thank you so much for all of your support. I really have appreciated how you all have been uplifting me on my recent lives. If you haven't been able to attend one of my lives, the recordings are up in my channel if you look under the menu of live and you can watch the recordings. I haven't figured out a set date yet for those lives, but maybe if you have any suggestions, let me know. But for now, they'll probably be in the evenings. Still trying to figure out what's the best time. So we have another pick a card, and this pick a card is just another one that was given to me by my guides, and I thought this is cool. So this pick a card is about a storyteller that shares a special chapter in your life. And of course, it's going to be a collective reading. So, just take things as they resonate, as we always say, all of us tarot readers. But let's pick your groups. So we're going to have 3 groups. And let's first use this deck, the archetype deck, to get the overall theme of the chapter, maybe even the title of the chapter. So for group number 1, let's see, looks like this card. For group number 2, looks like this card. And group number 3, I think it's this card. Okay. So that will be the general theme or the chapter of your life. And now we're going to pick some oracle cards to go along with those chapters. Group number 1, group number 2, and I think this one right here is group number 3. Okay, and why don't we pick a few tarot cards for each, maybe 3, I'm being told by Spirit, for each group. 1, 2, 3 for group number 1. 1, 2, 3 for group number 2, and 1, 2, 3 for group number 3. And the rest of the cards we're going to use will be picked as we go throughout the reading. So I'm excited to do this reading for you. If you resonate or like the way that I read, please consider giving me a thumbs up after you hear your reading. It really helps me to grow this brand new channel. And if you like the way that I read and want to stay connected, please consider subscribing to this brand new channel. I really do appreciate you helping with the growth of this community. So why don't we get to your groups, and we'll start with group number 1. Okay, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and group number 1. This is your chapter in your story that the storyteller reveals. Let me know if you resonate with this theme, but I love it so far. So group number 1, the oracle cards that we chose in the intro are here. So the opening theme of your chapter and what your chapter is titled is called The Depths. DEPTHS. The Depths. And you have this ocean card here. And what the storyteller begins by describing the ocean. The storyteller reveals that the ocean is unmatched. when it comes to its power. When you step into its salty waters, you step into the unknown. So the ocean represents the unconscious and all of that is beyond its understanding or our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate its nature. Yet, it gives us perspective, right? Because group number 1, we are but a drop in that magnificent ocean. And it is in this chapter that the storyteller begins to explain that you are in a point in your life, group 1, where you are understanding that this part of the journey, you can't just be around anyone. You can't just hang out with anyone. You can't just be partnered with anyone. You can't just be friends with anyone. This may even extend to your career. You can't just work with anyone. And you may, in this chapter, the storyteller says, you may have transitioned out of many relationships that used to fulfill you, but you're now in a part of your life, the depths, where the superficial no longer satisfies you. You need depth. You need authenticity. And this may be somewhat of a shakeup for you in this chapter, because you may have lost some very significant relationships. They may have transitioned. Their importance may have kind of diminished. And you may, in this chapter of your life, find yourself a little bit more alone than you normally would be, than you feel comfortable with. But in this chapter, the storyteller says, you have gained the trust of your spirit guides, and your spirit guides have gained your trust as well. You have learned in this chapter to trust your intuition and to trust where spirit is guiding you. So when you embark on this journey and go through the portal of the hermit, you understand in many ways you are not alone. You are with your guides. You are with your ancestors. But in the earthly realm, it could appear that you have no one. But Spirit has been reassuring you in this chapter of your life that you are on the right path. Nothing is wrong. That there's certain journeys, certain pathways, especially in this Hermit card, that you are going to have to go through in order to connect with your true soul tribe. And that soul tribe will include friends. It will include partners. It will include business colleagues. But there's something about this journey right here in this chapter that begins with you taking it by yourself into the depths. And so the storyteller begins to explain that as you walk through that beautiful door, you end up in this magnificent Atlantis type of scene. Ahead is, you see the Stonehenge ahead. these ancient columns filled with all this elaborate artwork. It brings you back. It reminds you of a past life place, group number 1. And the Storyteller says that in the Six of Cups place, you receive a message that you will meet the first of your soul tribe. This person will be a guide for you as you begin to explore this world at a different elevation. And so in this chapter, the Storyteller says, as soon as you receive that message, the Six of Cups traditionally is shown that we will connect with someone from the past, someone who cares deeply for us. And in this chapter, it is no different for you, group number 1, because the Storyteller introduces you to a King of Cups. And immediately, you find this King of Cups, regardless of their gender, so tender, a mighty king, someone who has themselves emerged from a great battle, in some cases an emotional battle. But this King of Cups, if you look closely, wears their heart outside of their armor. And this is someone who is facing you. And they face you, we would have to switch this around, the Storyteller says, because the camera, but they're facing your left. And the left is the feminine. And so this King of Cups, not only are they balanced between their masculine and their feminine energies, they attend to the feminine in you, group number 1. They are tender. They have, on this card, you will see 2 cups. They have one for you. They arrive with this very special gift. And the Storyteller begins to tell all of us about their own journey, because the way of the wanderer is also the hermit. So they too have been on a special journey to discover themselves, to do some deep healing. And you will find in this chapter, as the Storyteller weaves the narrative, that you both have been on similar journeys to find the depths. And when you both arrive and meet each other in this special plaza, it's a special place. So the Storyteller says that in this chapter, you may be traveling somewhere to a spiritual destination when you meet this soul tribe. And when you meet this person at this special spiritual destination, so the Storyteller describes it as maybe a place that has one of the 7 wonders of the world, maybe a place that's known for its spiritual power. Wherever this place is, that is where you will connect with this King of Cups, who turns out to be an old past life friend. You immediately recognize each other. There's something about the energy, there's something about the commonality of the journey that brings you both instantly together. So let's get more details that the Storyteller will reveal about this special meeting between longtime partners. What else will the storyteller reveal? Eight of Swords in reverse. Invocation upright. 9 of Pentacles upright. So the storyteller will reveal that both of you are coming out of maybe some emotional place that for one or both of you could have been pretty challenging. But you both had to release your own limitations. You had to break free of self-imposed prisons. And when you did that, you received the invocation, the spiritual order to get up and travel, to go to this special place, because only there are there some special messages, special healing opportunities that you both need to realize. And it will be at a time in both of your lives where money is not an issue, where finances are not an issue. You both will be in a place in your careers where taking off to go on a journey, a pilgrimage, will not be a problem. Both of you will be in a place in your career that feels financially satisfying. We have 7 of Cups, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. And at the bottom of the deck, again, is the Hermit, which is the overall energy. So the storyteller concludes this chapter by saying, out of all of the options, out of all the different journeys you all could have taken, out of all of the particular choices you could have made, you both find each other in this vast world. And when you find each other, it becomes a partnership, a unique partnership that may first focus on bringing both of your commonalities together in the material. So the storyteller will say that you all may end up working together. You all may end up traveling to all these special spiritual places in the world. And somehow in that travel, this time together, you both realize a beautiful, prosperous, abundant partnership. One that was rooted first in a journey that you both had to take on your own in order to go through a portal that would have you both meet up at the same time to start this new chapter of your lives. And the storyteller would conclude by saying, if you wish to know more, follow me into the rest of this beautiful narrative. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. Let me know if this resonated for you. And if it did, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you like the way that I read, please consider subscribing to this brand new channel where we dive into art, dreams, imagination, and our psyche. Thanks so much. Take care, my honeys. Hello, my honeys. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle, and group number 2. This is your reading on a chapter of your life that a storyteller will share. So, the storyteller opens up this chapter by speaking about your encounter with the destroyer. The storyteller explains that the destroyer is the final of 3 archetypes in the trio of existence, and is a necessary part, maybe even a painful part, in connecting you with the work that you have to do in this world. The storyteller will also share that the destroyer pulls the rug out from underneath you in this chapter of your life. It has impacted your relationships, your job, your home, any form of security. And the storyteller will say that this is a pretty difficult, perhaps challenging part of your life, because things had to change. And the destroyer, in some ways, you feel is your nemesis in this part of the chapter. And it is not until you are able to take this 9 of Swords. For some of you in this chapter, the storyteller says you were betrayed by someone you did not expect to be betrayed by. And that betrayal was part of a hidden agenda. But somehow in this chapter, the storyteller says you miraculously emerge. You escape. And you escape all these knives and you head into a Page of Cups energy. A place where you retrieve the love of yourself. And the storyteller says that this love of yourself, this offering of a new offering that you have of yourself, as you have escaped perhaps a codependent relationship, a narcissistic partner, or some kind of other environment that had those same energies. In this chapter of your life, the storyteller says that you find a cup of love for yourself. And in that cup of love, you begin a new journey. And a portal emerges for you ahead. You can see that it holds a vastness, maybe even the fullness of the moon. But in this journey, you have to trust yourself. And so the storyteller says that as you walk through that portal, you begin to connect with several dimensions of yourself. Perhaps it's a pilgrimage that you take. Perhaps it's a meditation retreat. But the storyteller says that you end up in a place where you can sit still, where you can heal. And in that healing, you take the journey of the 6 of Pentacles, where you have so much to give, where so much had been taken away from you. The storyteller says you transmuted into endless, boundless prosperity, because it comes from within you now, not from the outside. And so you are able to give with compassion. You are able to sit in this world with full presence. And that presence is what allows you, with this a light card, to understand that you have much to offer, much to teach, much to provide in this world. And the storyteller says that what you end up providing actually is your voice. Some of you might be a singer. Some of you might be a poet. Some of you may reconnect with something around your throat chakra. But the storyteller says that in many ways you find your voice, and your voice liberates you from the destroyer. So this chapter, the storyteller says, very much has to do with your victory, with a battle that you finally win. Let's see what else the storyteller has to share about this powerful story. King of Swords in reverse. 10 of Wands in reverse. 4 of Swords in reverse. The storyteller says that this may have been a relationship with a King of Swords energy that is in reverse. Someone who is manipulative, someone who twists the truth, perhaps through gaslighting. And the storyteller would say that this chapter of your life, it brought you through a lot of challenges, and many times you may have felt like you were on your own. But you had to go within. You had to understand who you are at your core and remember who you are. So the storyteller will say, this chapter is not for the faint of heart. It is not for those who only need to see the light, because this chapter is quite the story of your shadow. So the storyteller says that this chapter for some may not be entirely over, because the invocation was in reverse, and the 3 of Wands is in reverse. So the storyteller will say that you will need to take care of some parts of this chapter, but you are well in the energy of invocation, and you are well in the energy of getting ready to embark, take action, to leave fully out of this energy. The storyteller says to look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, for this particular 2 of Cups, you will finalize some kind of ending, and understand that the cups were never full here. The cups were deceptively empty. So the storyteller is pointing to a tea leaf. And the storyteller says, you will receive news of a new job, something that will allow for you to gain independence at the end of this chapter and begin to move and flow into the next part of your life. So, group number 2, if any of this resonated with you, can you please give me a thumbs up? And if you like the way that I read, please consider subscribing to this brand new channel. And to know that this chapter, the Storyteller says, is full of change, full of power, full of empowerment, and that there's much more to your story after this. Okay, group number 2. Take care. Hello, group number 3. This is Kamara with the Black Dove Oracle. You're a Black Dove Oracle too. So this storyteller is telling a particular chapter in your life. And the storyteller has named this chapter the vow, the promise. In some cases, the contract. Because the storyteller is telling me there's a few of you in this pile. But the chapter has the same message. So the storyteller says, the vow, it has to do with your liberation. This contract, this promise. So the storyteller explains the vow is spoken and the air shifts. Karmatic ties are formed and destiny tilts on its axis. Our words and intentions have immense power. There is a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is, the storyteller will say, is the vow, no matter how casually it is said or recited, activates the external and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness, the laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten. So breaking them can have lingering complexities and loose ends. This card, the vow, calls us, you, to acknowledge the vow we are living by, whether it's conscious or unconscious, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You have been underestimating the power of your promises. So the storyteller will say that this chapter opens up with you realizing that you are bearing witness to the shift towards your destiny. Group number 3. And the storyteller will say that this chapter begins with your death. It begins with your ending. Because the storyteller is saying that it is through this vow, this promise, this oath or contract that you have with this realm, that you must, in this period of your life, in a most spiritual way, not physical, die. You must submit to a deep transformation. Group number 3. One that will take you into the depths, into the darkness, to meet yourself, your most liberated self, because you see the dancer is here, the dancer of the dark. The storyteller moves on to say that you will know this chapter is activating because you are no longer here with the 7 of Wands in reverse. You are no longer here to defend yourself, because any self that needs defending is your old self. You have already died to that self. So you will know this chapter, the storyteller says, by the way that you are sitting now with the universe. The way in which you can hold many universal truths all at once. That you are finally the master of opposites. You can see that short cannot exist without long. You can see that far cannot exist without near. That good cannot exist without bad. Light cannot exist without the shadow. This is the wisdom that you learn to hold in this chapter. Many of you, because of the contracts you made in other past lives or before you entered into this realm, you will realize your position as a very powerful sage. Someone who has let go of human consciousness and has communed with their most high self, their most galactic self. And you will recognize, the storyteller will say, that the shadow realm will take you on a deep journey. As with all of these chapters of this pick a card, there is a portal. In group number 3, your portal comes later. You must first die, because then you are ready with all the knowledge and the wisdom and the full awareness of your past life vow. You will take that information on a journey into the shadow realm to receive your deepest liberation. Because that is the only way you will progress. You will realize evolution. What else does the storyteller have to say about group number 3? You have the Strength card. You have the 6 of Pentacles. And you have the 4 of Wands. The storyteller will tell the story of the period before your death, the days before you finally die. It's going to take deep strength because you feel it hovering, your death. You feel your transformation right in the background, right, hovering right there. And it is in these moments, some of you in this chapter will take a great journey with plant medicine. Others of you will take a great journey in some kind of ritual or ceremony. This is very specific, but in someone's chapter, there is a trip to Africa that will turn everything around. And what the storyteller will say for all of you is that this will not be a journey that will be guided by other human beings. No one can gift you this journey except for spirit. And even I don't understand all of that mystical message. But they're saying someone, when they hear it, will understand. Because it's never been, 4 of Wands can be a relationship sometimes with a person that you you whole and high esteem. It's never been about that relationship. This relationship, this connection for some of you cannot give you what you think it's going to give. Only Spirit can give that to you. Say more, Storyteller. Say more. This is all about your own path. The Nine of Pentacles is about an independent journey. Yes, one that you think you will take with others ends up being quite a journey that you take on your own. Anything else, Storyteller? And no, because this caduceus and the Ace of Wands is letting you know that this journey is full of medicine for you. But you must act. You must act and not postpone. In this chapter, the storyteller says, you may find yourself at a crossroads. Should I go because the other people can't go? This is why. This journey is for you, my friend. And so the storyteller says to flip this card deck over and understand what the outcome is. The universe, the universe, the universe, the universe. Snake, 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 snake. You are entering in this chapter into the highest transformation you will experience in this lifetime. Group number 3. So if you resonate with any or part of this reading, can you give me a thumbs up? And if you like the way that I read, please subscribe to this channel. It's here for the elevation of the collective. And if this is where we part, group number 3, you are in good hands. Take care, my honeys.